Ladies and gentlemen, I'm still trying to take it all in. That Nintendo Direct we got was absolutely amazing, and while I was expecting a few things, the main announcement, at least for me, was a new Legend of Zelda game. A brand new adventure and a new Switch, but now that I've had a little bit of time to take it in, I think The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom is actually a trilogy. And in this video, I'll show you why I think that. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Like, I knew we were probably going to get something Zelda related at this Direct, something to keep us interested in the Switch, at least until the Switch 2 is coming. I didn't think it was going to be a brand new adventure though, and yeah, I'm very excited about that. And I think this is the third game in a series. Before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe. We need around like 230 subscribers maybe, I don't know. We're very close to 10,000 though, so thank you for all the support. And let's just go and get right into this. So I just came back from Florida, and the entire week that I was there, I was only playing one game. And it wasn't a new game. Well, I mean, it was new to me, but I was playing A Link Between Worlds. And I had played A Link to the Past. I knew this was a sequel, and I didn't know if I was going to like it, but I absolutely loved it. It was so freaking fun. I love the graphics, I love the art style. It wasn't the hardest Zelda game. It got challenging a couple times, but I really enjoyed it. And it's one of my favorite Zelda games of all time now. I think it was pretty much a flawless Zelda game. And the funny thing is, I beat this game like 48 hours before this Nintendo Direct came out. And when I finished the game, I was feeling kinda empty. I've done everything I can do in this version of Hyrule, and it's time to move on. But I don't think that's the case. Whenever they initially showed off the Echoes of Wisdom trailer, and I seen Zelda attached to the wall, I was like, oh my god, they just remastered A Link Between Worlds. That's awesome. Even though I just beat this game, I'll probably play it again. It is what it is. And then as the trailer went on, we realized that's not the case. But even though I realized this was a new game, the Hyrule still looked very familiar. And I think a lot of other people thought the same thing. I don't know if this was obvious, but the game uses a map from A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds. And when you look at this and compare it to this, it's exactly the same. And it has me so freaking excited. The way that the maps are laid out in A Link to the Past and A Link Between Worlds, it's absolutely perfect. You never feel like you're getting lost or backtracking. Everything just kind of makes sense the way you go all around. But then it had me thinking something else. I'll just start with A Link Between Worlds because that's a game that I just finished. We have Hyrule, which is kind of the normal Hyrule. And then you have a bad area, like a dark version of Hyrule. And when I first realized the name, like why it was called what it was, I was like, really, Nintendo? That's what you came up with? But you have Hyrule, which is the good area, and then you have the Dark Hyrule, which they just call it Low Rule. Hyrule, Low Rule. I was like, really, dude? You couldn't have came up with something a little bit more creative, but it is what it is. But I really enjoyed the characters down there and the way that everything was set up. I think Hilda is a very cool character as well. Kind of underrated. And I think she might return in Echoes of Wisdom, but that's just one game. So what about A Link to the Past? Well, A Link to the Past just has something called the Dark World, so I guess Low Rule is better, all things considered. At least they try to come up with a name. A Link to the Past, you have your regular Hyrule, and then you go to the Dark World, which is the same Hyrule, just bad, evil, dark stuff going on. It makes A Link to the Past and A Link Between Worlds very enjoyable because you basically get double the locations, right? You have Hyrule, and then you have Hyrule again. Everything's just kind of messed up and a little bit more dark and harder monsters, and it just makes the game really fun. So then when you look at the Echoes of Wisdom trailer, there's this purple stuff that's coming all over the land, and that's what swallows up Link. When you look at the actual map right here, and this looks like it's going to be a pretty decent sized adventure, I'm like 99.9% sure that purple stuff that's on the ground, you're going to be able to fall into that, and it's going to turn Echoes of Wisdom into an entirely new game, or it's going to have an entirely new location. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what they would call it. We had Low Rule, we had Dark World. There's got to be something here that would be a hint to it. Like when you see right here that it's chasing Zelda, if it hits you, I'm sure it's going to like grab you and take you into the dark area, and then you're going to have to fight your way or find your way out of that. But I think that's going to be a reoccurring theme. You're going to go to this dark area, you're going to have to do some stuff there, you're going to have to come back. Maybe you'll have to do some stuff in Hyrule, and then when you go to the Dark World, it will counter some stuff in the Dark World, and then vice versa. Maybe you'll have to flip a switch in the Dark World, and then it'll open a door in Hyrule or something. But it has me very excited. But then the entire point of this video, this is the third adventure. A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds, Echoes of Wisdom. It's kind of got the same art style. The Hyrule is exactly the same. And I've seen a bunch of other stuff in the trailer as well that was like, oh, I just seen that in Link Between Worlds. A lot of people think Tears of the Kingdom and Majora's Mask are like the only two Zelda sequels, but I'm pretty sure Wind Waker has a sequel, like Spirit Tracks maybe, or it's on the DS, I can't think off the top of my head. But Wind Waker has a sequel, and I think this is going to be the first Zelda trilogy.
Lamp oil, rope, bombs? You want it? It's yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rubies.
And I do think it's really, really neat. Yes, I would have liked to see an Oracle of Ages or Oracle of Seasons remake, or maybe even the Minish Cap, but the Minish Cap holds up so damn well. But you have to remember, like, Capcom did those games. So I really think Nintendo has to maybe get their permission. I really don't know how that would work. And real quick before we get out of here, I want to share with you guys something I found on Twitter. It's the opening of Echoes of Wisdom and the opening of Breath of the Wild. And it's really cool to compare the two. Zelda looks so freaking cute down there, dude. But it's just basically saying, hey, this is your next great adventure. And it looks really, really awesome. It's just really neat in my opinion. And yeah, I thought you guys might enjoy it. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about all this? Have you played A Link Between Worlds or A Link to the Past? Do you plan on playing Echoes of Wisdom? Some people are saying this is the first adventure where you get to use Zelda. Somebody just commented that you get to use her in Spirit Tracks for a little bit. It's like one of the few Zelda games I haven't played. But did you guys forget about a little game that came out in 1993? Wands of Gamillion? Yeah, that's the real first Zelda game where you can play as Zelda. Regardless, let me know what you're thinking. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you could. And you guys know me, I'll see you soon with a new video. Peace out.